Hello, hello. Here we have the beginnings of the micro crawler course. The heavy lines are the outer perimeter trails, the rest are the structures that we're going to be building. And here we are, one 4x8 sheet of plywood. I've got a 6-inch wide trail marked all the way around the perimeter, which can act as a course, as well as all the trails intersecting can act as alternate courses as well as going over the mountains and obstacles. This is going to be a few small rocks. These are all going to be covered in foam, shaved, plaster cloth with dipped in thin set. And then once that's all dried, I'm going to put some more thin set all along the bottom for a more rocky texture. I got sand, pebbles, and rocks, all shapes and sizes. It's going to be a little bridge, little tunnel, little mountaintop with another bridge or tunnel going across to there. All in between the dead spaces we'll have trees and shrubbery because I like doing scale stuff like that. But this is the build so far. I left this end open just throwing that out there. But we're fixing to start putting some foam on it. My plaster cloth is on order. Should be here this few days. I'm gonna come out here and set some cloth on it and start making it look right. It's gonna look good. Alright, here's a little update. Got some foam down. Did a little trimming with the plaster cloth on it. Gonna make it look real good. This little dude popped up. Little boop boop. Gonna lay plaster cloth down first on the road bed, up on the sides too. That way it'll have some contour. I shaved some of the foam to look like rocks. Once the plaster cloth gets on there with the thin set, hopefully that'll look more rocky. And then start draping it over that and pushing it in the holes and blah blah blah. Let it dry. Or actually, while it's wet, I'm going to sprinkle some that sand on it to help let it sand dry in with it, give it a little more grit. And finish building that up. Then lay my 2 ripped 1/4-inch 2x strips. They went across here and here for that little bridge, and one across that little mound for that one, or finished making that in a tunnel. I don't know, I hadn't made up my mind yet. Don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's the update for now. Alright, we got one little spot done, and I already quickly learned one thing. Get a pan, not a bucket. Use the bucket for your wash water. Wash your hands real quick, whatever you need. Put it in a cake pan, a baking pan, something like this, cheap, throwaway. Plaster cloth looks amazing. It's in one continuous 50-foot roll. I'm cutting it out there and laying it up here is my prep station so I can see what sizes I have. I'm going to use long strips for doing the road beds. and then the little squares for capping everything off. I'm still trying to think of a way I can add a second layer above it, you know, something, I don't know. Let's see if I can come up with after I get this first phase done. Alright, so this is how far we gotten today. Storm's coming in. We got a decent base on everything, cap. Turning out really good. I'm liking how the cloth kind of adheres to all the nooks and crannies. Poke it in there with your finger. Sprinkle some sand on it. See what sticks. Anyway, I gotta wrap this up before the rain hits. Alright, just about wrapped up the plaster cloth. I'm waiting for the majority of it to dry up. I'm gonna lay it on its side so I can lay that on there and let everything tuck underneath the way it needs to be. Put down some slurry on the edges and started the little road bed here. I'm just mixing up slurry, putting it on where it's a little thin, some holes are showing, and smoothing it around. I've worked a hole in my finger from rubbing that stuff around so much. And then using whatever slurry is left just to pour in the road bed and then spread it around. And once it dries, we'll be putting some brown spray paint on it to define it as the road, perimeter road. And then we'll be adding some pea gravel and other rocks, natural rocks. So it's not just going to be this, there's going to be lots of other stuff on it. So it's looking good. Alright, another update. Did a lot more slurry mixing and did all the road beds, slurried all the sides. And this corner was a little open, so I filled it in with some foam and plastered it real quick. Give another little climb. And you can't really see a lot because the shadows are all funky. Did a lot more slurry mixing and drizzling on the sides and letting it run off. Starting to look good. Got this side here painted brown. I'm going to do the outsides in brown. And the only piece I got to do is that there. I'm just about to do it because all this is getting nice and dry finally. And then we'll get to painting. The texture, the grip is pretty decent. Some places it's more than others. Oh, and there's a doggy. Looky there. Thank you. Got some detail paint on the rocks. Sorry, the shadows are just right for being horrible right now. But we got rain coming this evening and I wanted to get this done